Hey guys, welcome back. This is Back to Basics. We have amazing guests on the show. Today we're going to talk about toxic masculinity, and we're going to talk about identity. You know, what is the true identity of a man. And today I have amazing guests on the show. So from my right, they're going to introduce themselves.
Yes, my name is Yobes Madai, and I am in the world of videography and video editing. I love people and adventure so much, and I'm super excited to be here.
Okay, one thing you would want us to know about you?
I went to 12 primary schools.
Okay, so okay. Yeah. Okay, done.
Yes, I'm Duncan Atalaku.
Yeah.
I'm in the media space as well as I'm a gospel musician, and I love people as well. I love fun. I love making people laugh, but mostly I love God. And one thing you don't know about me, I've always wanted to be a food taster. Because do I look like there's anything I don't eat? No. Actually, I've studied biomedical engineering, and I have never applied it anywhere. Good evening, viewers.
Interesting. Hi, my name is Waiganjo Stephen. I'm a pastor at Ruak West with the Ruak Ministries. I'm a father of 2 and a husband of 1. I love food. Maybe the body is testament. I'm a foodie, and I love people. I love the word of God. I just love seeing men and women changed by the word of God.
Oh wow, interesting. I would love to hear this definition of a man. Who is a man, Yobis?
I think from creation, I think God has created a man to be wild in some sort. Ukiangalia hata a young boy, you know, from the word go, they want to jump from high places, just dangerous games. They want, they're riding a bike, they want to go fast, and then they don't even want to use the brakes. They want to brake with their feet and all that. So I think a man is wild. A man is, you know, just adventurous in some way. And there's a book I read that says a man wants an adventure to live, you know, a battle to fight, and a beauty to rescue.
Hey, hey, Mr. That's why you're called Mr. Right, huh? Yeah? Okay, sawa. Yes. So, vulnerability. Define for me vulnerability, and how do you deal with such things? Maybe I can start with you, Danko.
Well, vulnerability. I think when we hear the word vulnerable, the first thing that comes to our mind is opening up. Like having safe spaces to open up and talk to people about what you're going through. And we know in this day and age, in fact, the era in which we are in, men rarely and hardly open up their hearts. And it's not because they don't want to, but it's because sometimes there are no safe spaces to open up to. Sadly, we're dealing with this topic sometime back on radio, and most men were saying, even our wives, sadly, are not safe spaces for us to open up. Like the one person that you have chosen over 7 billion people all the earth, and they happen not to be a safe space for you to open up. So what is vulnerability? Like being able to be heard and understood. Because then you find that there are scenarios where the man does not want to be questioned. So I open up to you. And certainly, I'm going to say this, but sometimes ladies, they have servers, you know, HP ProLiant 360 DL, like you know. So you open up to them, you open up to a woman. This actually came out a lot.
Okay.
So I tried my wife being a safe space. This is someone who was telling me, and they used the same information later on against me. So it's not only listening and understanding, it's listening, understanding, and not using it as ammo. So if there's a space like that, then that is a place where a man can be vulnerable. Now, men and vulnerability, you know, for ladies it's different. Like, I don't know how you guys do it, but you meet, you cry together. I've never understood how you can cry and then everyone else cries with you because of your problem. Men sit there like, so you are crying, but it's your problem, so you cry. Buda usijali, utakuwa strong kausha Buda. Uko fiti. Buda uko fiti, usijali. It's still very harsh.
Yeah.
So men think that sharing and opening up to other men is a sign of weakness. And that's how society has shown us. So I'll tell you, my story has been mad with such, because every time I've spoken to my boys, especially the ones we grew up with, like, hey, Buda, mazee, ai, kweli wewe, ai, unakaliwaje na dem? So, and I was just coming to open up and just saying, bro, I'm going through this. But it's very different from what vulnerability means to women. But for men, it's a safe space where A, I need to be listened to, B, not judged, but accepted and understood, and D, do not use this as ammo in the future.
It's not fodder for them.
Not fodder.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Vulnerability. I think men are very vulnerable, but they choose to choose that they make a deliberate choice where they will express themselves.
Right.
Now, the other thing is how men express their vulnerability. I think the society has created like a benchmark based on how women express their vulnerability. And that's why we expect, these days are here, you are being told, hey, you can cry, you know. You know, my wife, well, in our early days of marriage, she was like, I've never seen you cry. You never cry. I was like, why do I need to cry? I don't see the need for crying. So, how we express our vulnerability is very different. That's the first thing that every person needs to understand. And it's different from man to man, based on experiences and what they have learned. But there will be some similar things that are there. That's why the other thing, before I go there, the other thing is most men, because of the societal norms, and I think the society has created a very feminine way of looking at things. Men now find it challenging to keep up at that level. So people withdraw. I listened to Pastor Mbevi, and one day he was talking about how church is very feminine. And you think about it, like sometimes in the services you are like, oh, give your neighbor a high five. When men are seated, men are seated. It's very rare for men to be giving each other high fives. They're like Buddha, maybe a pat on the back, or something, that is it. They'll not do, but ladies will be, they laugh, they give each other high fives. You see, men express their emotions, but they will express their emotions to people they are comfortable with, and where they feel safe. For a man to feel safe, it's not just because it's their home. It's not just because it's my wife that now I'll feel safe. If the same way Danko is saying, if I say something and tomorrow it's used against me, it's ammo. I'm like, man, I'm never talking. I might just say something else that will be used against me. Or if I say something, then I'm followed by 15 questions. Why didn't you think? What were you thinking? I'm like, you withdraw. You are like, I am sorry. I will never involve you in this thing again. Because you're asking too many questions. They are beyond what I was willing to go or where I was willing to go.
Wow. You guys, what do you think?
First of all, nimeanza to look up to people. I think my feet is going down. Like, what is that?
Just been going.
You're looking up.
It is humbling me.
Heavy topics.
It's the way.
The window up here. But I think I really concur with what the gentleman here is saying, and I think no one wants to be open to attack, because even people have fences, even Kitambo communities had fences when we had cattle rustling and everything. So the people with the biggest fences and biggest walls were safe. And vulnerability means you put those walls down, you know, and that exposes you, and no one wants to be exposed, especially a man, you know. And so hey, instead of, you know, exposing myself, I better stay with my problems, you know, and stay quiet. And it's not healthy, you know, it's not healthy. And Percy has said, and also Danko, safe spaces are not available. It's very rare for you to find, you know, those safe spaces, especially now. Unaambia beshte yako vitu unapitia, wewe ndiye topic ya chama wakimit next time the other day, you know. So I even heard somebody say they opened up to a pastor and then akasikia ametumika kwa sermon story yake. Tumekauka tu like sasa hata kama pastor sio safe sana enda kwa nani, you know. And so you find people they'd rather stay with their problems. But I also think it's also possible for you to find your people, you know, because it's very important to share what you are going through. The way Percy has said, it will never be the same as the way ladies do it. It will never be the same. Wanaume hata kupatana tu coach futa. It's enough. Juu katikati hiyo game una slide into vitu and they will hear you. The people will hear, not